If you're just starting out, most likely you're going to start off somewhere as a solopreneur, right? Even if shortly thereafter you raise money and hire a team, uh, you'll grow. But at some point, you're always going to start off as a solo entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, right? Because you're kind of developing this idea in your head and starting to create an organization around it. So here are some things that I found really helpful to that allows you to create freedom in developing and growing your business so that you could get it to the place you want, whether you want to continue as a solopreneur and just have a sustainable business, or you just want one employee or two employees, your first employee, and that's what you want, and or you want to start growing a team. Regardless of any of those categories, you're going to want to have these things in place. One first is you're going to want to improve your margins, right? Improving your margins will give you the flexibility to work on your business, and it will give you additional resources to do R&D research, make investments in your business to grow the reach and breadth of your impact. So making sure that you're at the margins that you need to be in your product or service is critical, and knowing how many customers you need to achieve the profitability threshold that you need to do to continue to invest in your business is essential. The second is defining how much time you spend in each of these categories of work. First, you got to define the work that you're going to be doing on a weekly basis, right? What percentage are you spending on sales? What percentage are you spending on account management and delivery? And what percentage of time are you investing in improving systems and methodologies and your product and service, right? So, depending on how much time you spend in each of those, you're going to see different rates of improvement and growth in each of those categories. And so, what I recommend you doing is making sure that you're aware of how much time you're spending in each of those categories. And based on how much time you're spending, are you getting the outcomes that you expect? You really want to do these things so that you're avoiding living paycheck to paycheck or project to project. And the only way you're going to do that is having kind of profitability in your business, but also a pipeline of deals and customers that you're constantly working on and working to figure out how you're going to close those deals and when you're going to close them to create predictability in your finances. Again, I mentioned this briefly before, but signing small deals takes as much time as signing larger contracts. There are some nuances to that. You might have to have uh, more buy-in or more stakeholder involvement, but at a certain point, they're very similar. Whether you're signing a $10,000 contract versus a $50,000 contract is very similar. Whether you're signing a $150,000 contract and a $500,000 contract, the processes are very similar, right, within those ranges. And so, what I'm suggesting is you want to understand how to create larger contracts and bigger proposals so that you could have more predictable payments and invoicing terms, right? And that will help you develop confidence in your business and the sustainability of your business. Imagine if you're living day to day on $3,000 contracts that you're signing versus one $30,000 contract that you're signing. You could see the difference in the activities that you need to do and the things that you need to worry about.
So, one of my, I think, biggest lessons that I have learned as a solo entrepreneur is that you don't actually have to do it alone. Yes, you're running a business on your own, but that doesn't mean it has to be lonely. There are a lot of communities, networks, I think generous people that are willing to share and collaborate and help you grow as you are going through this business journey. And hopefully, this community you feel is one of them. But some of my best opportunities really have come from partnering, I think, with some established individuals and companies. And while it isn't always easy to get those partnerships, But if there is alignment, and of course it takes clear communication and work, but they can really open doors that you couldn't reach on your own. I think about one of my very successful partnerships that continues to this day. That the first year I started my own consulting practice, I reached out to somebody that I admired, somebody who's been established in this space. I reached out to her on Twitter and wanted to see if they would collaborate with me on something. And to my surprise and pleasure, they said yes. And so, definitely take the chance. The answer is always no if you don't ask, right? The other thing that I think a lot about as a solo entrepreneur is that how important relationships are. I think relationships are everything. Most of my opportunities come through people that I've built trust with, right? People who value the work, who want to see me succeed. I've also learned so much from collaborating with other solo entrepreneurs. And I think you grow faster when you work alongside others. And then finally, I think just a reminder, if this hasn't come through in any of my other sessions or my other talks in this course, it's really a reminder that I have to tell myself often, which is you don't have to do it all, right? You don't have to do it, and you don't all have to do it all right now. I think you're building something real, and that takes time. And you have what you have to give, and give what you can in that moment, and give yourself permission and grace to not give more. So hopefully that helps when you think about doing this, especially if you're going to be on your own.